Instant match reaction. Everton 1, Liverpool 4. As expected, the Blues have lost due to better players um, and everything else in between. We are just truly an awful footballing side. We are at the moment a truly awfully run club, and we've got a manager who is just thick. You know what? He can talk as knowledgeable as he wants about the game and all this kind of stuff. His CV could be great and whatsoever. He's past the sell-by date to me. I think it's absolutely criminal to start that lineup. I'm sorry. Listen, Delph, come on. And he didn't really do us any favours, to be fair. He's been brought on into a situation where we're just completely lost and we just don't want anything more to do with the game and just to jump in a Mersey, to be honest. But Delph should have started for me. I feel like it was so obvious in the first 20 minutes that midfield was all over the place. They just ran us from top to bottom. You know, loose balls, they was onto it. It was constant for the first 20 minutes, I would say. And we definitely needed a third midfielder in the middle there just to try and sweep things up and just stop them from having the attacks they had. Because Richarlison was absolutely nowhere today. Rondon, to be fair, Rondon, he put a physical battle in, which I want him to do. I want him, he brought down the ball a few times, passed away, but it's just not good enough for a Premier League side, and it's just not. The substitutions are just mad as well. Like I said, a 2-1, 3-1, I would have brought Delph on, but he brought Gordon on. And Gordon played okay when he come on, but listen, at the end of it, we are just absolutely shite. And you know what? The worst thing was, and I watched Toffee TV before this, and Ped said it'll be Everton v Everton, and it was exactly that in parts, if you could say, especially with the goals. We just gave them the first 3 goals. Listen, it's a great finish from Salah, for both of them, but it's atrocious. The decisions we make in the game are just mind-boggling. The communication is everywhere. Like, it's like they all speak different languages. I'm telling you right now. Our back line, apart from Dean, all speak fluent English. And it's like they've never spoken English before because they just can't seem to understand where each other are and who collects the ball and who does this and who does that. It's an absolute joke. I don't know what they do in training every single week. I do not know. And Benitez is going to have to get the blame for this now, because, again, with the lineup, I do not agree with. And many other Evertonians will agree with me with that, where the lineup is not the one we want. It's a lineup basically just saying they're just going to have most of the ball and they will punish us because our defenders can't deal with their attackers, and that's exactly what's happened. I'm absolutely drained about moaning about this club, and I'm terrified. I'm being honest now, I'm terrified that we're going to go down. I've said this. We've been teasing the relegation zone for the past 3 or 4 seasons, and we've either changed around by changing the manager, and just having a good run of form at some point in the season. This is the worst state. I'm telling you, right, the worst state this club has ever been in. The worst. I don't know when it's going to change, if it is going to change, if we have to accept that this club, after I don't know how many years now on the top flight, is finally going to go down, and it might be the best thing for us. But I mean, I'm saying that because I just feel like we need a reset button, but then knowing Everton win, I just can't see us ever coming back up, or not for a very long time. We could be a Sunderland or Portsmouth, just go straight down to the bottom. It'll be horrendous. I can't even process the thought of it. But from these displays, I mean, we're missing Mina and Calvert-Lewin now. I mean, that's basically it. They're the 2 big key players we're missing. And look at the state of us. Look at the actual state of the squad. We've lost certain players for certain reasons. who we've lost a lot of players for certain reasons, and we haven't been able to replace them, and it's ruining us because we have no bench. We have no bench. I look at that bench. I've seen benches in all the Everton squads where I look at and go, we've got, we could bring him on at some point. We've got a bit of threat there. They should be worried about it, the opposition. I look at that bench. I would not, if it's a Liverpool player, I'm fine. I'll look at that and go, easy. If we can nail this first 11 down in this match, we have nothing to worry about. And it happened. Everyone's saying we get by 6, 7, 8-0. Listen, you can always think about that in the state of our squad and compared to theirs, but every Merseyside derby seems to be at least a contest, and there's 1 or 2 goals in it. This is the worst home defeat. I've witnessed it all now. I've witnessed it all, and it's always glory Liverpool in it. They always have to do something. They always, I have to be born in this generation to just witness them breaking records. Beating United 5-0. Their rivals, breaking a record after 39 years, biggest away victory at Ed Goodison. We just, it's like if this football club does not care about that. This breaks the fans. It honestly breaks the fans. I'm embarrassed to even get out of bed tomorrow and go to work. I'm embarrassed to even mention that about the game or mention the fact that I'm a blue. And it won't be hard to spot because I'll look depressed and you'll see a happy person. You'll just assume they're a Liverpool fan. And if they're an Everton fan, then clearly they don't give a flying fuck about this club. Because if that doesn't hurt you, nothing does. Honestly. It was expected, as you can say, but it's just the way we gave them the goals. It's the way they did things and we couldn't, and we're all supposed to be at the same sort of level, Premier League footballers, and it looked like we was about a League 2 side. That's how it felt to me. The quality is horrific. There's nothing there. Let's get into the game. I know it's 7.5 minutes in, but that's just an outlay and a summary of how I feel about the whole situation. So obviously the first 20 minutes, as I mentioned before, Liverpool just all over us. You're just thinking, how many could it be? You've seen games where teams go 3 or 4-0 in the first 20 minutes in the past few years, and you're just like, that's how good the opposition is, but that's how poor the other team is, and you're just thinking to yourself, please don't be us. Let's just please survive this first 20-25 minutes, get into half time with a score which is not horrific. And yeah, the first goal, it was just, to be honest, I can't remember what happened, but it was a fault of ours. I think we gave away a corner or done something stupid where it was so pointless, it wasn't needed, or something like that. And then, to be honest, I can't remember, everything's becoming a fault to me because I kind of just want to not think about football. I just kind of want to be put to sleep and find out what happens at the end of the season. I don't even want to think about anything, but from what I recall, it just comes out to Henderson and he just drills into the bottom corner. You've seen it all day long when he was coming up to the ball. He's actually got a vision. He actually knows where he's going to put it. He's actually got technical quality about him. And Alan just, I don't know what it with our players with diving all over the place, but I feel like if Alan just ran to the ball and stayed on his feet, he might have blocked that. And he kind of just dived too early for me. Got nowhere near it. And yeah, 1-0. And you're just thinking, 9 minutes in, this is going to be horrendous. We all knew this was going to happen. And then the second goal, a bit of play in the middle. Salah's released. And you know what? People might think I'm a bit harsh here, but I feel like Pickford could have just made it a bit harder for Salah. I think any other player, or most players in the world, run onto a ball like that, you'd probably think as a goalkeeper, go ahead, you try and put it in that top corner. Salah can do it. And Salah can do it with ease, mate. You've seen the goals he scored. You've basically, I feel like you set him to go and score that. I feel like if I was him, I would have closed him down a bit more. But he probably didn't want to get a risk of a penalty or a red card, and makes it 10 times harder for us and probably ends up being a 7-8-0 game. But it was just frustrating. It just felt like he was running onto that ball for so long, and it was just inevitable that he was going to score and no one could do anything about it. I get to 2-0 and just thinking, well, first 20 minutes, 2-0 down. This is going to be the worst, and it's just going to get hostile in here. And then passage of play, a bit of crowd, roaring us on. But a few not nasty tackles going in, just a few like hardcore tackles going in, just trying to show us that we're there, we're not giving up without a fight. I'll give a bit of praise with the players where they pushed on, but listen, I can't really praise it. It's a Merseyside Derby, you should always be like that. Can't really praise you for that. I'll praise you for that in a game where it's not a derby and we need points, and I want you to be doing it. In a derby, that should be the first thing you should be doing, is running your socks off. Running your socks off. Honestly, to the point where you can't even walk after the game. That's what it should be. It should be the start, the first thing you would want from your players in a Merseyside derby. So can't even really praise them for that. It's just everything about this team and the players. They just won't. I just can't see them getting into most Premier League clubs, to be honest. I mean, I don't watch other Premier League clubs as often. I mean, if they're worse than us, wow. I can't remember too much with the goals, to be honest. I remember just the end of them, but I think it was like either Allen or Decore, I think, passing the ball on to Demarai Gray. I don't know where the Liverpool defence was there, because he was just straight for the middle, and somehow managed to squeeze it in between Alisson's legs. And yeah, 2-1, you just think, I mean, obviously I was screaming, I was, very passionate, I was very hopeful that we could just get something from this game and just move on and just hopefully find some sort of form. And like I said, it came at a late time in the first half, in like the 30th minute or something. I was just thinking to myself, we're not that type of team to go and score 2 quick goals. Liverpool, they've been in well more pressurised situations before. This is not going to affect them too much, but they did look a bit wobbly. We was pressing on them, and we're not going to get that all game, the type of pressing we was doing, because they just cut us open. But I was just hoping for us to nick something there and then, because I knew once the first half blew up and the second half coming around, it was just going to be back to them controlling the game, to be honest. You could see it all day long. You've had that 15 minutes break, you've had the adrenaline taken out of you, in a sense. That's what a goal does to you. You wish you had a bit longer time to just try and press them more and just trying to get something from that first half. But it is what it is. Should be grateful for the goal. I did not expect us to score at all, to be honest. And to be honest, it was nearly a bad miss. It's kind of the goalkeeper's fault that his legs are open that wide. Gray's not going to know that in that split second that his legs are open like that. He should be, to be honest, it could have easily been a bad miss. But it is what it is. Grateful to go in at 2-1. It should have been 5-6-1, to be honest. But and it just comes into the second half and they're just controlling the game, to be honest. And they didn't look too threatening. You've had little moments, half chances. Nothing to the point where I was, pulling my hair out in stress and worry. It was just one of the games where one individual brilliance from a player will settle it, basically, or a mistake from us. And exactly what happened. I'm just furious at the timing of it, and the player, I can't believe what he's done. I can't believe the back pass Gray done, but honestly, you're a professional footballer. If you get dealt with a bad pass, deal with it a lot better than what he did. Horrific. And Salah's run that, and he does the worst thing you can do, basically, and just mess it up. Just get your whole body in front of him, dive on the floor or something. Just don't give that any sort of element of risk to controlling that ball. Salah is just going to sniff every ball. Any loose ball, Salah's going to be after it. It's the worst player in the world probably to be doing that against. And Salah just runs through, again, reminded of a second goal, and just puts it in the bottom corner. And to be honest, I think Pickford should do better. You're just watching it going, he's still running. No one can catch up to him. He's not light years away from him. He's still with Coleman. running with the ball. And Coleman should not be in a squad. He should have left about 2-3 years ago. To be honest, he's not been good for years now, and it's again the board's fault for not replacing him. It's just absolutely horrific running of the club. It's horrific. I don't know why fans don't get a say in anything, because it doesn't feel that way at all. The fans don't get a say in absolute anything in this club, because we've all been screaming for a right back for years, and it's not been addressed. And you've just seen, you've got Bill Kenwright up there, Merseyside not there, you know, he's got obviously better things to do than watch Everton struggle and the Merseyside Derby, you know what I mean, the club he owns. And they've witnessed why we want to get rid of Coleman. Like, he's been a great servant for us, but listen, we can't keep being emotional with players and stuff like that. You've got to be ruthless. And this club is nowhere near ruthless. They're nowhere near ruthless. They are just Mr. Nice. We're all Mr. Nice. And I just lost my mind, because I thought there's points of our attacks that Liverpool looked vulnerable, and we've thrown crosses in. Oh, crossing is absolutely terrible. Can I just mention, absolutely terrible crosses of the ball. Honestly, some of the time, they have so much time sometimes, and they can't even pick a man out. They can't. It was just so easy for Liverpool to nod it away, but you just thought to yourself, if we just stay in the game, anything could happen. It's just a weird footballing season. We're a weird side, and we come up against the likes of Liverpool and actually perform. And the games against Brighton, Burnley, and play teams like that, we can't play. Well, we struggle to have anything. I mean, a lack of class is always going to be there with the squad, you know, no matter what. And I just thought we could just stay in it, They haven't been too threatening. They've had the little nice passes to play. You know, they're a much better footballing side for us, but still, it shouldn't be that big of a margin, because, again, your Premier League players, they're just not Premier League players, aren't they? Let's be honest, they can't play football with each other. Most of them players have been here now for a year or 2, 3 years, some of them longer, and they can't manage to play with each other. I just don't understand. I just don't understand. Anyway, and he made a 3-1, and I'm absolutely furious, because I just know that's it then. We can't give any more than what we've gave in terms of, you know, pressing them and working hard and whatnot. We haven't got the players to do that for 90 minutes. They just look all unfit, and they're just dead slow, and none of them can they're just not good enough to, again, fight with a Liverpool side like that to try and claw it back to 3-2 and then 3-0 potentially. There's just no chance with this squad. Absolutely no chance. You've got no one on the bench to change a game. Absolutely no one. And, you know, we still have like 20, 25 minutes left, and you're thinking to yourself, now this is where the point where we're knackered. We have got no hope left in us. The fans are just not in the mood. We're all quiet. Most of them are leaving. And you're thinking to yourself, this could end up going for 4, 5, 6, 7-1 easily. Liverpool just do that. They would want to break records. They would want to laugh in our face. The likes of Virgil van Dijk and Thiago potentially would like us to get absolutely rinsed. And it could have easily been, but it didn't. But they still managed to get a goal in the 80th minute with Jota. Ireland looks like an old man, to be honest. He looks like a man who just can't run. He just needs a walking stick with him. He honestly has got the whole package about him, which looks like an old man. And he just gets turned easily. Like me when I'm playing against my dad when I was about 12 years old in the park and he can't barely run. That's what it reminded me of. I just walked past him, to be honest. Jota didn't do anything special, just walked past him and hit to the roof of the net. Pickford gets beaten in the near post, yes. Powerful shot and whatnot, but I just feel like Pickford again just doesn't help himself with this T-Rex, you know, shout about him and his tiny arms, which a lot of people mention about. Just doesn't help his situation there. 4-1, you're thinking 10 minutes left. This is where the few more goals come in, really rubs it in. Luckily, they didn't do that, and they just played out the last 10 minutes, and we just looked all over the gaff. he brings Tosin on for some absolute no reason whatsoever. You know, might as well play. This is not the greatest circumstances to throw a kid in there, but maybe that's why he's done it. But there's no ruthlessness. There's no ruthlessness about us to go, listen, 4-1, whatever. I don't know if Sims or Dobbins support this club. I don't think they do. I think we got them from another team when he was in the academy and stuff. So I don't know, but I just brought them on and go and get your Premier League minutes in. Let's have you just having that feeling of being on a field with these type of players. Let's just test you for 10 minutes. But no, brings on Tosin. Why? Just tell me why. What is the point? Is the guy in his contract need to play some minutes to get wages or something? I don't know. Absolutely pointless. You might as well just throw a fan on. You might as well just throw a fan on and give him his dream of playing for Everton Football Club for 10 minutes. You might as well just done that. I would have felt a bit better seeing that than throwing Tosin on. He's an absolute waste of space and should never be at this club. I mean, he's been on 2 loans. I don't understand any player in their late 20s going on 2 loans staying at this club. It's absolutely pointless. And the board, again, is to blame for this. They're just an absolute joke. And I swear to God, I'm hoping for some banners. I'm hoping for something where Ken write out, I want some protest, peaceful protest, but I want some sort of protest at this club because it's not good enough. And if it doesn't get addressed soon, we are Everton Football Club going down. We are going down. I'm telling you right now, I've said this for many seasons and we found a way out of it. I can't see any inch of the squad of us getting out of this. We're just bottle jobs, we're useless, we're pathetic and we're cowards. We've got no class. The whole balance of the squad is horrendous. We are all over the place. They literally look like they're playing against kids today. And I'm embarrassed to be a fan of this club. Absolutely embarrassed. And, you know, them taking a mick out of us now, it's just another rub salt in the wounds because it's just Everton. It's the life of an Everton fan. And I'm just tired of it, to be honest. I'm tired of... I can't support this board. I can't support these players. You know, you've seen a Wobie on the bench who's laughing and joking at the start of the match. Mate, you should not even have a smile on your face after them performances this season for the whole Everton career. You've been an absolute joke, and I'm really glad you didn't play any minutes in this game because you don't deserve to step on that field. You don't deserve to sit on that bench, mate. Laughing and joking, and people might come in, oh, they're human beings, they can still... You just want them to be all depressed or something. You know, you do know he doesn't support this club. He should be ashamed as a person of how he's performing in his job. Absolutely horrific footballer. Should never be near the Premier League. I don't even know how he plays his national squad. They must be that bad. They need him desperately. Absolute joke. I just thought I'd mention that because that really peed me off at the start of the game. Rafa in or Rafa out. Honestly, if we didn't have the history of the way we do deal with managers in the past, I'll probably say Rafa out because any other manager right now would have been sacked. He's not done anything to me which gets on board with the Everton fans. He's done absolutely nothing. He just gave us the worst. Former Liverpool manager has just given us the worst home defeat to Liverpool in 39 years. Honestly, it feels at this point that he's trying to get us down. It's like a little plan of his to try and send us down. Honestly, I'm not... you might think I'm paranoid here, but this is the worst I think I've ever seen us. And it's a Liverpool manager, former Liverpool manager, managing the club. Come on. Not good enough. You can be, you know, I'm too harsh and whatnot. Listen, the tactics, the substitutions, the way we play, everything about us is horrific. Horrific. And he's got to be a part of the blame of that. But the biggest blame of all, like I've mentioned a few times now in other videos, is the board, and something needs addressing. Honestly, that's it now because I've gone on long enough. But I just don't know what to say, and I'm honestly giving up hope, and I just want to close my eyes to the end of the season. If we go down, we go down. I don't want to see any videos of it. I don't want to see anything of it. If we're down the Championship, I'll just close my eyes again, and hopefully we'll come back up because I can't deal with this club. and most of us fans can't support that board because they're not supporting us. They don't give a flying shit about the fans. They don't give a flying shit. This is Stuart anyway. I'll see you next time. What's the point anyway?